When you finish producing a video, one of the most common places to get it posted is online. But what happens next? Does it get the views and attention it deserves? Or are you disappointed with the results you're getting from your social media properties? In this episode, we're going to dive into the complex world of paid social media campaigns and explain why you may want to reconsider putting a budget behind your video to get more views, to target the right audience, and to convert your message into customer actions.
Companies come to us because they want to get found online, and there's two ways to get found online.
This is Close Up, decoding video production for your business. We'll talk with a digital marketing company devoted to making sure your video is found online. I'm sure you've wondered why some videos get thousands or millions of views and others barely get noticed. Often, the catalyst for the clicks is digital marketing. Now, in my day job, I'm a digital marketing strategist, focused on making sure videos perform well online. When our marketing strategy calls for putting money into promoting a video online, I reach out to a company that lives and breathes the world of PPC, or pay-per-click. What that means is we pay to make sure the video is viewed by the people who are most likely to turn into customers for our business. The company I'm talking about is Granular. Jordan Meyer is the founder, and Steve Kroll is the vice president, overseeing business partnerships for the company. Both are joining me on Close Up. And Jordan, today it seems like video would be an obvious way to create a message online. Can you set some context? Why is video gaining in popularity in the whole PPC world?
I think the messaging is so much different in video than in any other medium. People really engage with it in a different way than a blog post or a billboard or a radio ad or anything else. So we try to take advantage of really every ad medium that's out there, and video is definitely a big slice of that and a growing part of what we advertise on. I think the world is limited by bandwidth and internet connectivity and mobile devices getting smarter and better. We see video growing so much from a consumption standpoint, but it's also just a really good medium in general. So we use it whenever we can. We find that not every client has the best assets when it comes to video, but we try to take advantage of those assets whenever we can and put them behind advertising.
When companies produce a video and post it online, Steve, what are the ways that they can improve the chances that their video is going to be found?
Companies come to us because they want to get found online, and there's two ways to get found online. You just earn your ability to get found online organically, or you can pay to get in front of your targeted audience. And so they want to drive subscriptions, they want to drive awareness, translating that from a targeting perspective and putting together that plan and then implementing that plan. So that's at our core what we do.
Can you explain the pay-per-click strategy and how you come up with a plan to get results?
Yeah, we always bring it back to what's prompting this request. Who is your audience? What are your goals? How are we defining success? With video, if it's, hey, we aren't expecting direct transactions from this. We want to just get our name out there. Then we'll say, all right, is there a geographic component to this? Do you want to make sure that you want to target people if they're in a certain radius, if they're in certain counties, if they're in certain states? Do you have specific demographics you want to make sure that this is in front of? Is it broadly residents or is it homeowners? Are they people who are business owners? Are they people who are currently in school? And then we want to say, have you defined a budget around this? And sometimes they'll say, hey, I've got these dollars. This is what we're comfortable spending. Other times they'll say, this is what we spent when we've done broadcast advertising, or this is what I'd feel comfortable spending. Can you give guidance on what we should do? And so what we'll do is we'll put together an actual plan, say, based on what you've told us, your goals are, who your audience is, here's how we'd go about doing this for you.
Yeah, going in with a plan is key. We talk about that in video production all the time. You bring up some interesting thoughts around advertising online. So there's location, maybe demographics like age or gender, or it could be behaviors like someone who enjoys gardening. The companies now have the ability to get their video in front of a very specific audience through paid advertising and get results at a lower cost.
And we're always going to be looking at this from a bias of we want to try and drive conversions at a target cost per acquisition. We want to be able to get the average cost per view as low as possible, and we want a high click-through rate to the website. Maybe a lot of other marketers aren't thinking like that.
Let me ask you this. There are a lot of people familiar with Facebook, and if you have a business page, you always see that notification to boost an existing post. Is that the right angle to go at?
In general, what we say about boosting versus an ad, boosting, it's better than doing nothing, right? And there's some cases where it makes sense to boost while also running ads, but think of it in terms of like giving a little child a fake steering wheel and a horn and a shifter where there's kind of very minimal controls versus a real car where you have the full instrument panel and the ability to change everything and manipulate different parts of the car and check on all the different attributes of its performance. That's kind of similar with a boosted post. You can see, all right, I've spent this money and here's kind of generally who I want to target and go, and it's a little bit of a black box, where running an actual ad gives you full control over the audience, the devices it's seen on, being able to import your own owned audience lists of customers, being able to exclude people, being able to target people based on their engagement with previous ads or having come to your website, targeting if they're an Android user, an iPhone user. Do you want to show on Messenger? Do you want to show across all formats or not? I mean, there's part of the reason that you'd mentioned that people hire us is there's so much that goes into all the different options, all the different targeting in these platforms.
Yeah, I think that was a really good answer, Steve. I think my view on it is that boosted posts are valuable to a very short extent. They have their purpose. They get in front of your current audience and some of their friends and maybe a small geographic region. So it amplifies your message a little bit, but it's not exactly targeted marketing in an advertising standpoint. So to actually get in front of new users that are going to be valuable to your business, we definitely recommend a traditional ad unit in Facebook. Boosting has its place, it's important, but the ad will net you the new customers and actually kind of drive a bigger difference in your business for you.
Let's talk about online video content like YouTube. When I Google a how-to video, for example, you a lot of times see pre-roll video ads. So why is it a good idea to purposely create shorter video clips as advertisements or commercials? We're talking about the 6 seconds, the 15, or the 30. Steve, what opportunities are out there for companies to use pre-roll video advertising before the other video content plays?
There's way more supply of video content on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and all these different platforms than the supply of advertisers. So the very popular social networks that are free to users to use, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, in the way that those organizations make money is by selling targeted advertising to have the ability to bid on a user to show them targeted ads on their feed. We know that there's a higher engagement rate and there's better value for your money if you're investing in video, because anyone can write a text ad, anyone can do an image ad in terms of those are lower barriers to entry, but we see way fewer people who invest in the video asset, and those platforms know that there's going to be higher engagement rate. They would prefer to show the ad to the user if it's a video asset. So there's that component. It's the supply and demand. You can get really good value for the investment. We see higher engagement rates, so we define that as people who click on an ad, comment on it, click through to go to a website. Ad recall is much higher.
Now, YouTube's just one of the social media platforms where you can place video ads. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Jordan, do you need to customize the way you create your video ad for each platform?
I would say don't get too worried about making a specific video for each of those platforms. Go into this with a solid plan of how to edit it to fit the platforms afterwards. So you can do one good shoot, one good quality commercial or video, but if it's planned out, if there's a clean storyboard beforehand, you already know how you're going to cut that 6 second or 15 or 30 second clip ahead of time so that you don't have to worry about shooting 6 different videos. You can create 6 videos out of one clip.
Well, that's great advice. Let's tackle videos that have a ton of views. Jordan, what do you say when someone wants their video to go viral?
I'm sure you guys get that same wonderful question. I think the responsible answer right away is no, because a lot of people just I don't think anyone understands how something goes viral. I think people dial in a style and tactic, the TikTok stars of the world, or Gary Vaynerchuk, he shouts at a camera and gets passionate, and that is a brand that will get 1 million views every day, but it's not going to get 100 million views. That's what viral is just going and spreading to different audiences across the world or across the US. Viral is a unique lightning strike that is, I think, impossible to bottle. If someone comes to us and say, hey, we sold this video to a client, we told them it was going to go viral, we need 500,000 views. We can do that. We can get the views all day long, sometimes for 1 cent per view. And then you get free views on top of that after it gains some momentum. But to make it go viral, that's just something that we can never promise. And I would suspect 99% of video producers would also never promise.
That's some really great advice. Jordan and Steve, you've provided a lot of information here about how to get better results for online videos. And I really appreciate you guys coming on Close Up. And you have a podcast as well, so I want to give you an opportunity to plug yours.
Sure. It's called Getting Granular. It's on every platform that you listen to your podcasts on. We interviewed a lot of people on our team just to dive deep into specific topics, or a lot of personal interviews to get backgrounds on the team members and how they kind of got into the industry. And then we also get really deep on some topics like Facebook ads or geofencing. We kind of dispel some myths and get really deep and nerdy.
That's awesome. Thank you guys both for taking the time to talk with us. As Jordan and Steve said, video is a powerful tool. And when posting online, there are many strategies to make sure your project gets the attention it deserves. Pay-per-click or PPC is a great advertising approach. In addition to putting money behind your strategy, be sure to plan for editing shorter video clips that can become pre-roll ads on YouTube, for example. And remember, you can't wave a magic wand to create a viral video. We're actually going to cover that topic in depth in a future episode. And we'll talk more about why some videos did go viral, so watch for that. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer, send us an email to podcast@plummedia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to this podcast and leave us a review. This is Close Up, decoding video production for your business. It's produced by Plum Media. I'm Laura McElry. Thanks for listening.